Hi guys, welcome to CarAndMechanical. Today I'm going to take you through my 8 top tips for buying car parts online. The aim of this video is to share the methods I use within the UK for buying car parts. If you've got anything to add to this, please by all means add them to the comment section down below. It always helps people to find new ways to save money on parts. Now I'm going to start by taking you through the ways that I use. So method number 1 that I have for saving money on car parts is I go to Motor Factors, and I tend to favour Euro car parts. They've always been quite good when it comes to my Audi A4. So I've got a 2003 Audi A4 Quattro Sport TDI, bit of a mouthful, but I tend to get my parts from here. So I'm just going to have a quick look for a mass airflow sensor. So they've got the mass airflow sensor I've currently got in the car actually for £120, but Euro car parts have always got deals on. So they've always got a discount code, and this is the main reason I tend to use them, because by using the discount code and using click and collect, I can either go in same day or next day to pick up the part I need for the job I'm going to do over the weekend. So this is £122.99, and they've got a code on at the moment that's saved 33, and that brings it down to £82.40. That's a really good price for that. It comes with a 1-year warranty. The reason I like going to Motor Factors with key car parts, I like that they're a known and trusted brand. I like that I can take it back to them. You know, that's it really. I like being able to go in and sort things out if I have a problem. Now there is also GSF as well. Now on this particular mass airflow sensor, they're not cheaper. In fact, they're well out of the ballpark. They're £244. There were 2 brand options on the other mass airflow sensor, but even with the discount here, with whatever brand they're not mentioning, you know, £200 is way too much. It's cheaper to go to the dealer. I spoke to Audi and it's £150-ish for a mass airflow sensor from them, and that comes with a 2-year warranty, and they'll take the car and have a look at it if anything's wrong. To be honest, I'm fine with £80 for a 1-year warranty. It'll probably outlast that and more. The second option for saving money on car parts is speaking to your local dealership for your car. You might be surprised to find that sometimes it's cheaper to buy the parts from them. Now in the case of the mass airflow sensor, it isn't. However, little things like crush washers for the injectors on the TDI, they are less than £1 each from a dealership, but if you want to buy them online, it's about 10 for 6 on eBay. So it can be worth sometimes just giving the dealership a quick phone call when you are shopping around, get your reference price. Sometimes they're cheaper, sometimes they have it in stock, and you can go and get the part and get to work straight away. My third tip will be beware fakes on eBay. So there's absolutely no way that this is made by an OEM. It's going to come from China. Now I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but with something like a mass airflow sensor that on an Audi impacts all elements of performance. Slightly dodgy mass sensor can impact the amount of power you're putting down, it can impact your fuel economy, and just the general way in which the car behaves. Now where this is cheap, this might work. I'm not telling you not to buy this, but I'm just telling you to beware of fakes. If you're buying this from China, it's going to take a couple of weeks to show up. It's the 15th of January at the moment as of recording this, so it's saying it's going to be 2 to 4 weeks until you get it. And there's part of me that's cautious as to whether this works or not. I'm not saying it won't, it might work perfectly, but I like the ability to go and be able to take something back. The other thing with these adverts, just sort of beware of how they like to market it. They've got a Great British flag here because they want you to associate it with the UK, even though they're shipping it from outside of the UK. Yeah, so just sort of be aware of things, and when it's above £20, it could be subject to import duty as well. So you might get one of those lovely post office things that means you have to go and pay an extra £15 for it. Okay, tip number 4, and this time I'm actually saying to you, consider China. Now, I wouldn't consider China for certain bits and pieces. There's no way I'd really consider unbranded, unwarranted pieces for safety related important parts for the car, like suspension, wheels, anything that's going to matter in the crash that needs to sort of hold up. I wouldn't consider it. Things I would consider is things like your trim, switches, those kinds of bits and bobs. They should be absolutely fine. They're very basic, quite often they're plastic, and they do a much better job of replacing the things that might be worn out. So on Audis, these switches are known to wear out. I've had them wear out. When I bought my A4, mine was worn out. I did a video on it. I paid £2 for my switch. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. What you find a lot of UK sellers tend to do is that they will buy them. So we're going to switch to eBay, and they'll probably buy these by the 50 or the 100 and sell them in bulk on eBay at a markup. Absolutely fair enough. That's a legitimate business model. If they're willing to take the risk and put the stock onwards, and also they can get it out to you quicker. I don't know how things can be shipped from China for £2, but they can, so I use that option. But if you've got the time to wait for something, sometimes the China option works out quite well. I've saved quite a bit of money on various switches by doing this. The next tip is going to be Facebook groups or Facebook Marketplace or forums or car groups, anything like that where people might be selling parts. That can be the best option sometimes to replace and things, and it really depends what it is. You can kind of see here you've got Audi A4 B8 interior. That might fit a B6, I don't know. It is quite smart, but you'd want to check that before fitting it. But we'll have a bit of a very, very quick scroll down. But there's various bits in here. If you bought a car with sort of not very great interior, you can get yourself some nice new seats. They appear to be actually half leather. So you can get various bits on here. You can see there's iMac Sport springs there. It looks like there's just the two. So maybe they had to cut the front, maybe the car was in a crash or something that's been broken. But these kind of groups are a way to sort of save money. The only thing I can say is beware of things. I wouldn't just message someone on Facebook and hand over £150 for a bumper or a turbo and then go to pick it up. I'd always want to inspect it and pick it up in cash, unless I was picking up something cheap like a piece of trim that they were going to mail to me for £15. But get a feel for the seller, exercise caution. If it seems too good to be true or something puts you off about them, then don't go for it. And that's the same with the forum and everything as well. Now, of course, eBay is one of the main options. I think most people will be using it, so I'm not using eBay as a tip as such, but I'm saying it's obviously one of those that's out there. The reason I'm not using it as a tip because I expect it's one that people are already using. Now, nearly the last tip is going to be maybe you can fix your car by buying another car. So we can see there's other Audis on here for sale. They all differ in price. Some people are already breaking them as well. But if we look on eBay, we can sort of see that for £300, now I'm fairly confident this won't go for much more than £500. You can get another car that's a similar mark to yours. So mine's an Audi A4 2.5 TDI. So this isn't a perfect match because of it won't have the same gearbox or running gear, but there's alloys on there. So I've got curved alloys, I could replace those. We've got bumper, headlights, grills, other bits of interior. There's a lot of bits here that if you were to piecemeal them out and if you needed any of them could very easily run you over the cost of it. And should you buy that car, you could choose to sell the engine and the gearbox and certain bits of the drivetrain and then have a scrapyard come pick up the shell and make your money back on the parts. Now this depends on your own personal situation. Do you have the space? Do you have the skill? Do you have the equipment to break it all down? If you do, this is potentially an option for you, and you quite often hear it said sometimes you can make one good car out of two bad cars. And my last tip in terms of general parts buying, non-model specific stuff, is don't forget your websites like Amazon that just through their buying power sometimes are just much cheaper. So I've got these on my car at the moment. They're Osram Nightbreakers. They're £14.22 at the moment. Now when it comes to Audi A4 parts, Amazon may not have sort of too much, but they do have some bits. So they've got armrest covers, they've got the reversing cameras, they've got various bits and bobs. They're not necessarily the best, but they are still worth sort of checking out, and they may come in there as being a worthwhile option if you do need to buy some bits and pieces. But with the Nightbreakers, just a quick point that even though Euro car parts I do find to be really cheap and do come in quite well, this 33% code is not applying to these Nightbreakers, so it's a couple of pounds cheaper on Amazon. It's just one of those again. Have a look across all of the sites, and sometimes just by shopping around you can save a bit. Now the very last thing I'm going to say is just sometimes have a think about what you're buying, and is it the right thing that you're buying? Can you buy a particular different brand that might save you a little bit of money? And the one I'm just going to mention here is an alternative to plastic dip. It's Rust-Oleum's own peelable plastic paint. So you can see here that it's £7.99 a can. I like to use matte black for trim. So it's going to cost us, actually it's going to cost us more than that. It's going to cost us about £11 a can. Now I just want to go over the option I've gone for, because like that, now if you look at that, 4 or 5 cans is going to set you back about £50. Just have a look at the option sometimes when you are on eBay, because you can sometimes save a bit of money. I bought this peelable plastic spray, which actually works out quite well. I know Halford sell theirs at £10 a can. I picked up 12 cans for £49.99. Now, if you're going to do your wheels on your car, you typically want about 1 can per wheel. That's going to put you in the £40 range if you're buying the Halford stuff. or if you're looking to buy the other stuff on here, you're still looking at sort of £45–50 with all of your shipping. So what I've done here, I've picked up 12 cans, and that's going to let me do my wheels, my lower trim that's sort of discoloured, and also the interior trim on the car as well. All I'm looking to illustrate here is that if you do look at your options, sometimes you can save a bit of money, and in this case you sort of save £50–70 based on the individual price. Okay guys, that's it for this video. That was just me sharing my tips on how I buy things. This is based within the United Kingdom. Things may differ slightly within your country, also for your brand as well. Could turn out that Euro car parts and German, Swedish, French aren't the best places to buy for your car. But by all means, if you've got any tips or tricks, please leave them in the comment section down below. I hope you found this video useful, and thank you for watching.